They want to hear Soulja Boy. Ruin hip-hop rights, old man.
Huh? Just rhyme the words. Make it complex. Make it entertaining. Make it thought-provoking.
How you gonna make a song called The Police? 35 years later, your ass playing the police on TV.
That is whack. Respect your elders.
Tell your name to Lemonade, cause you sweet, you ugly as and you lame as hell. You should be congratulated. Eat a dick.
Hip-hop has to last forever. It ain't gonna last with you doing that Superman bullshit, man.
Do something about it. Help me help you. Be ashamed of yourself.
They poking me. Them is like
I was out of pocket. They was with me. Yeah, I'm a devourer him. I don't
want to be my great-grandfather. Mr. Tracy Lauren Morrow.
This is gonna go down, kid. You done up. That's what makes you dope versus whack. Like I wanted beef.
Ice-T, oldest forefather of my nuts.
Not my style. You a sucker.
Huh?
What? Puss ass, punk ass, sucker ducker, lame ass, slap the out your bitch ass.
These them ruin hip-hop. Gonna take off on this little.
I don't know who Soulja Boy is.
I segue into a murder.
You need to be apologizing. Good hip-hop versus whack hip-hop.
Born in 1958.
You trying to start a war?
The last time I heard of this was in Superhead book. He was born before the internet was created, dog. Nobody want to hear that old no more. I don't respect you no more.
Y'all trying to count me out,
You know that thing you like doing? Soulja Boy probably did it first. While Soulja Boy was one of the pioneers of some things that are commonplace for artists these days, not everyone saw it that way. Back in 2008, Ice-T had more than a few words for Soulja, who was at the height of his popularity at the time. However, there was a little more to it than people realized. Ice-T fires the first shot. In 2008, Ice-T was on a mixtape called Urban Legends with Black Silver, under the duo named Black Ice. On it, he said that Soulja Boy killed hip-hop. While we had trouble finding the true original audio, here it is via a repost from someone else.
Black Ice, Ice-T, Silver the Navigator, Soulja Boy, eat a dick. This single-handedly killed hip-hop. Soulja Boy, let me talk about Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, I know you're young enough to be my kid. You single-handedly killed hip-hop, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't from it. All that is such garbage. We can't do that, man. We came all the way from Rakim, okay?
Considering the generation Ice-T is from, and what Soulja Boy came into the game doing, his perspective makes sense. His original words were taken from the mixtape, but let's hear him explain how that came to be while on Hot 97 in 2019.
Back in the day, I was doing a mixtape for some of my friends that are no longer my friends. Get this out there. These cats went behind my back. And right before I went into the booth, they started throwing stones in the booth. Don't want to hear you, man. They want to hear Soulja Boy. They want to hear Hurricane Chris. Now, rappers know that when you stepping into that booth, that getting ready to drop your bars, that's like walking into the ring. Rappers be
going to a zone.
They take their shirts off. They hit whatever they like. Come on, man. You know, like, let's go. Yo, they want to hear you, Rosenberg. They want to hear such a, you know, I'm like, that, man. You know, I'm like, I was on my books. And, you know, but I wasn't even, they could have yelled anybody. But I was like, yeah, you know, because, you know, they were like, they want to hear the youngsters. They want to hear you. So I bark my blah, blah, blah. The cats took that rant and put it at the beginning of their mixtape. That was not supposed to go out.
That was just you getting in your zone.
That was me getting in my zone. I could have said little boo boo, little Zeke. I don't know who the. At that time, I didn't even really know who Soulja Boy was. It was just they said Soulja Boy and Hurricane Chris, and I just went in. But it was never meant to be an attack. It was some studio. That's why now when I'm in the studio and people got their cameras out, I'm like, man, turn this up. Man, what are you doing with all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? I'm with the homies. We talking. You over there in the cut.
While this seems understandable, it was what he followed up with that turned the situation into something a little bit bigger.
With a camera like, what the you hood TV? I might segue into a murder at any moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm about to say. Why are you gonna turn all that stuff up? I even got a thing in my crib that jams cell phones.
In your house?
Got one of those.
When you come in my house, no tweeting, no live Instagram, none of that. Not in my house, or you can stay your ass outside. Once you come up in there, I'm not trying to broadcast everything that's, people are putting too much. Everybody think they got their own TV channel. All right, back to Soulja Boy. So this comes out. So now I'm in Arizona, minding my business. It hits, blah. Ice-T dissed Soulja Boy, blah, blah, blah. Now this is social media early. It's about 10 years.
Talk to the microphone.
About 10 years ago. So I'm like, so what did I diss? I hear this. I'm like, word, oh Lord. So I immediately get on the phone with these cats that did the thing. I'm like, what part of the game is that? Oh, yo, OG, this is hyping the... No. This is unauthorized. We gonna come see y'all in a minute, but this is unauthorized. Now y'all got me in the funk. Remember, Mickey? It was like, yo, y'all got me in some funk. Now, the second part of it was my son. You gotta reply, Dad.
Oh.
I mean, what do you mean I gotta reply? Yo, when someone says he dissed you on, you gotta reply. I'm just so stupid, right? So I'm just like, all right, turn the camera on.
Got him again. Got you again.
So I just went in and I just said, look, you know, because his whole rant was you old, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, when you 19, a 23-year-old old, like, I'm just saying this. Now, on a whole nother note, how I was feeling at the time, and it's not about dude. To me, hip hop requires skill. When I got in the game, hip hop required skill. To be a great rapper, to be a great DJ, to be a great graffiti artist, to be a great breakdancer. Hip hop has a default word, whack. W-A-C-K. Anybody spells it with an H ain't hip hop. Okay, so that word means you a whack. You ain't. Whack doesn't mean you're through. It just means get better. That tag was whack. Get better, right? So the reason I can't play in the NFL is because I'm not that good. I know that. We can't play in the NBA because we're not that good. That's why they're stars. You can't rap like Rakim because you're not that good. That's what makes us look at stars. But when you drop the level of the game so low that anybody can get in, it stops being a craft. It starts being a bum rusher, everybody. And I felt that the rap game was starting to get really, really simple. But there was a point in hip hop where it got to be just repetitive hooks.
Ringtone rap. That was the ringtone.
Yeah, that was the ringtone era.
We call it ringtone
Coming
era.
out of it, yeah.
Now, a rapper like me, who's a fan of Das Effects and feels like we took hip hop to a certain place, as a G, I want to see it. I want to see it get better. I want to see J. Cole. I want to see it evolve, not go backwards. So I was feeling some kind of way, but I wasn't really picking this particular person out over anybody else. It was the state of hip hop at that moment.
And he just ended up catching it because they
caught it.
Yeah.
Right.
He was standing too close to the fight and caught the left by mistake. Bam! Who who got his hit? Y'all got me mad. But that was not as malicious as it seemed, and they tried to play it. And I apologize, little homie. I mean, he's going through his own trials and tribulations. Of course, when he heard what would seem like a diss to me, he had to reply, and my dumb ass replied. But I never went into no Twitter, this, that, and none of that stuff.
Now, it's only right we look at this video that Ice-T posted because of his son.
Hey, what's up? It's Iceberg, man. I want to reply to all this internet drama that's going down, you know what I'm saying? I said something about this kid Soulja Boy while doing a mixtape, you know. The cats took it, you know, they basically were asking me how I felt about it, you know, the state of hip hop and Soulja Boy, and I went on one. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize, Soulja Boy, for telling you to eat a dick. That was just in anger. You understand? Because truthfully, you know, a brother of my caliber shouldn't be talking down on a youngster of your age. But as far as your music goes, it's garbage. You know, and I'm saying that for all the hip hop, homie. You know, there's kids that go in the studio and really try to rap. They really sit down with a pen and write stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no old school, new school. This ain't no East Coast, West Coast drama. You dig? I'm feeling Lupe Fiasco. I'm feeling, you know, Lil Wayne. You know, Young Jeezy. You dig what I'm saying? I love T.I., Ludacris. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling cats like that. They take time to go in the studio and really write something. I'm talking about your garbage. We got to get rid of that, man. Hip hop has to last forever. It ain't gonna last with you doing that Superman bullshit, man. That shit is whack. Trust me. Now, you know, you may feel, well, Ice-T, you shouldn't have said it, but then you shouldn't have replied, Pimpin'. You shouldn't have replied. You see, because when I diss you, there's no ramifications. You know, you can't hurt my career because I'm caked out, Jack. I'm caked out. There's nothing you can do to hurt me. No, I don't never have to make another rap record. But when you go against me, you go against the whole West Coast. You go against all the OGs. And trust me, there will be ramifications. Not from me, but from hip-hop. You done f***ed up, little homie. You're supposed to take that. Sometimes when old school brothers tell you something, you're supposed to just accept it and keep it moving. You ain't supposed to come back, oh, you Ice-T, you old. You 17 and it's 25 is old. You know what I'm saying? So that don't bother me, cuz. And trust me, I got cake for every year I've been alive, kid. You got 15 minutes. So you need to be apologizing. And you need to get your rap game together. And if they called me today, they was like, Ice-T, you trying to start a war? Is there a war gonna start? Ain't gonna be no war. Ain't no East Coast, West Coast. Ain't North or South, cause I love the dirty South. You know? If any war, it's gonna be good hip-hop versus whack hip-hop.
Soulja Boy replies, naturally, as a product of his generation, Soulja Boy addressed Ice-T via a YouTube video, which many people credit as the first reaction video. Also, considering he was 17, his response is filled with jokes, but at the same time, he does get into some realness too.
Man, f*** all that. Look at here. This Ice-T old as this don't know if be my great-grandfather now. He's the forefather of my nuts. Hey now, we Wikipedia this was born in 1958. Hey, somebody from the West Coast. He was born in New Jersey, dog. For real. Like real talk, dog. This Mr. Tracy Lauren Morrow. Yeah, I know your name. It's a new day and age. He was born 3 centuries ago. Now the last time who the Ice-T, dog? The last time I heard it was in Superhead book, dog. Hey, dog, I seen this on TV the other day. This playing on Law and Order, solving mysteries and How you gonna make a song called the Police 35 years later, your ass playing the police on TV?
Law and Order.
Law and Order. Dog, real talk, this ain't no beef. Soulja Boy beef from Ice-T. You old ass. You hit me, your arm gonna break. Nah, real talk, dog, I'll let you fight my granddaddy, dog. Then knock your ass out, dog. Now, you was born before the internet was created, dog. How the f did you even find me, dog? This nigga think you ready to drop an album. That's why you mentioned my name. Cause you think Superman, that was last year. You late. Get with the times, you old ass. But I respect everybody, you know, who started this, who opened the doors for young artists like me to get into the hip hop industry and the music industry. But you know, I respect everybody to the utmost. I don't want to disrespect nobody. I know Ice-T is a old ass. Now I know he's a legend in the game and he's a veteran and all that. But once you tell me eat a dick and I hear that on the radio in my city, this hurricane, somebody take them bees out his head, dog. Been rocking the Sherm perm for like goddamn 30 years. Cause when it get like the year 2058, man, I'm old as hell. Then it's this young and I'm still trying to rap, which I probably won't be. Still trying to rap niggas out. You got all this. You was rich as f, dog. You can't tell me you ain't got no money. Quit. Why you still rapping for, dog? Nobody want to hear that shit no more. The reality of it is that the game has changed. It's new out. It's young eating, and nobody want to hear that old shit no more. There's people who still want to hear, but they just ain't dead yet. They old as f. You know, man. Just to be real with you, Mr. Ice-T, sir. Hey, what the f kind of name is Ice-T anyway? This name, you tell your name to Lemonade, cause you sweet. Real talk though, Mr. Ice-T. You must understand. This shit is different. When you was born, you was still driving in wood cars. Goddamn Walmart wasn't made yet. You know, there wasn't no internet. There wasn't no video cameras to record this to dish your old ass on. You know, it wasn't a lot of shit. It wasn't hating ass out like you either. That's how time changed. Just be hating for no reason these days, man. Stop with that bullshit, man. You make yourself look real bad. This is from me to you. I respect you. You ugly as you lame as hell. You Ice-T, look me in my eyes when I'm telling you this, because I know you watching this. This is gonna have 1 million views in like 3 days. You look in your eyes like this right here. At the end of this video though, the point that we're trying to get across was, man, you was wrong for that, man. Think about it in my shoes, man. This time last year, I was poor. I was in the hood. I was in the ghetto. If what you living is true, you will understand where I'm coming from. I wasn't born rich. I wasn't born in no big ass house like this. Nigga, I worked to get. I'm 17 years old, dog. I worked hard for this. You feel me? Even if it was all this got me out for one song, you should be congratulating. You should be congratulating. Real talk. You should be telling me, congratulations, young brother. Get your money. That's what you be saying. That's what you should be saying instead of eat a dick. Eat a dick? To me, be the same. Man, you know how many in the hood right now, this wishing they was in my position, that wishing they was in your position, that wish they had some money, wish they had a song, wish they had a hit, wish they had anything, they can't get a job. And you up here talking about, Soulja Boy, I know you young enough to be my son, but eat a dick. What kind of shit is that? I know you young enough to be my son, but eat a dick. That's some bullshit, dog. That's some bullshit. I work hard. I work hard to get her, dog. I work real hard. I promise. Think about what you said. You feel me? If you don't like the way the game is, do something about it. Go drop an album. Sell some records. Do some shows. Speak. Hit me up. I know you all that money you got, you can get in contact with me. You can get in contact with me. Give me some pointers. If you really think something that was started so long ago and it keep going on today and you think it's dead or you think it's really killed or real messed up like that, do something about it. Save it. Save it. If you really think it's finna die, if you really think it's dead, revive it. You feel me? Do something. Bring it back to life. Help it out instead of dissing that's trying to only do what y'all created. Why diss us? Help us. Feel me? Help me help you. Feel me? I'm just doing what I know. I'm doing what I gotta do to eat. I'm doing what I gotta do to provide for my mama. I'm doing what I gotta do to provide for my family, my little brother, my little sister. You feel me? Them still in school. You feel me? Telling the only role model in their life to eat a dick. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Real talk. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Old as you is. You are old ass. Nah, real talk. I respect you. I used to. I don't respect you no more. You probably don't need my respect. But money ain't everything. Real talk. All that money you got, you could be doing a lot of shit other than telling a 17-year-old to eat a dick. And if that really is how you feel, then do something about it. That's all I gotta say, man. You lame as hell.
The Boondocks also parodied this moment in 2010.
Hey, dog. First off, I want to say that I'm a huge fan of Thug-nificent. I grew up listening to Thug-nificent. Matter of fact, I'd even go ahead as far to say that I love this no homo. He was one of the real that made me want to do this. This old ass man. This old is old enough to be my dad. Is he telling me to eat a dick? What's wrong with you? You a grown ass man and you telling a 15-year-old to eat a dick? I know your mother raised you better than that, dog. Matter of fact, excuse me, is this Miss Jenkins? Yes, it is. My name is Sergeant Gunner. And I don't know if you aware, but your son said some very rude things about me on the radio.
Yes, I know. He said some very rude things. He's too old to be acting like that, and I know I don't like using that language either. You know, I put time.
That was your mama. Your mama. Grow your old ass up. I hope you go broke, you feel me? I hope that the IRS is on their way over right now to take your shit.
The dust settles. This beef did not turn into a back and forth exchange of diss tracks or anything like that. We've already heard Ice-T speak on it in retrospect, and Soulja did too in an interview with Hot New Hip Hop in 2022. Of course, his initial response, even in retrospect, was still filled with his trademark confidence. When asked about the beef with Ice-T, Soulja Boy said, "He was just confused. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know I was the truth. He didn't know I was the GOAT. He didn't even know he was looking at the future in his eyes. He didn't know he was listening to the wave. He ain't know. You can't fault him for that." Soulja would follow this, saying, when you fall out the mix, you gotta keep your ear to the street. That's why I'm in tune with my youngin'. You gotta show love to the younger generation and stand on your morals and principles. He was standing on his morals and principles. He didn't like that type of music. You can't do nothing but respect that. It's always good to see rappers from different generations getting along and showing respect for one another since they're in the same game, just at different times. We hope you guys enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. If you liked the video, then help us out by liking, sharing, and commenting. Make sure to check out these other videos popping up. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and bell, because we got new videos dropping every week. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.